Hello everyone, welcome to the market outlook for the week. Gaurang Shah here from Geojit Investments Limited. And as I speak to all of you all this Monday morning at around about 10:15, markets have given up the initial gains which we saw at the opening, though we are trading in the positive territory, but we are at a lower level, possibly at the lowest point of the day up till now. Remains to be seen how the market behaves for the rest of the day and of course for this entire week. Incidentally, this week is going to be a short week, truncated week. 27th, that is Wednesday, is going to be a holiday on account of Ganesh Chaturthi. So we're going to have trading for 4 days, and on 27th itself we'll have a lot of clarity in terms of the situation with respect to the additional 25% tariff stroke sanction, whatever you want to call it, from the US Trump administration. Having said that, I think the cues that the markets have taken today is largely because of the outcome of last week meet in US Jackson Hole and the statement made by the Fed Chief Powell with respect to rate cuts, possibility of rate cuts in the month of September, depending upon the data points that will come up in the near future. So the markets have taken positive, but it remains to be seen what the quantum of rate cut is in September if it has to come through and what the statements are. Meanwhile, in our markets, I think markets are waiting for the reformed structure of GST in New Avatar 2.0. The in principle agreement is in place as far as the group of ministers GOM is concerned, and I think very soon we'll have clarity on the new structure of GST 2.0 once we have the final approval as far as the GST Council is concerned. So the markets are likely to trade in a very tight range, and that tight range is going to be on the lower side, 24,700 to 24,800. On the higher side, we've seen resistance at higher level, so the range is going to be on the higher side, 24,900, where we are possibly trading to 25,000. In case if we are able to cross over once again like we did last week, 25,050, 25,075, then a up move could take us to 25,300 to 25,200 to 25,300. That's the broad range on the market. Hoping that there is no unpleasant news flows as far as the global arena is concerned, this is going to be the broad range. India VIX up about 3.75% and the level is 12.17. Nothing really to worry about, but yes, there is going to be choppiness in the market given that we have a truncated week. On the rupee front, we have seen strength on the rupee of 0.08 paise and the level is 87.45 to $1. Expect the strength to take rupee towards 87.25, 87.30. And on the crude oil front, there is marginally uptick, friends. $67.86 to a barrel is Brent and 63.80 barrels to a barrel is NYMEX. Of course, the discount that has been offered by Russia to India is a positive sign, but there is a lot of noise as far as this India buying crude oil from Russia is concerned, as all of us know. So by and large, I think this is going to be a trading market, stock specific. Definitely, there's going to be a lot of focus depending upon the news flows, and the news flows on sector and stock specific are plenty. For example, last week we saw two telecom companies, Jio and Bharti Airtel, discontinue their entry level prepaid plan and they have hiked it upwards, which may possibly give an indication that by the year end, that is December 25, we are most likely to see another hike in tariff. This is nothing confirmed by the companies, but just a view that is there on the street. So the telecom sector will be in the spotlight, so and so forth, related sectors as far as the reformed structure of GST 2.0 is concerned. There will be range bound movement, but our sense is that the more time we spend over here consolidating, the stronger base it will make. We also had one news from the government banning all online gaming companies which are into dealing in cash, and as a result of that we saw companies related to this gaming sector take a hit. But on the flip side, we saw a tremendous amount of spotlight on sectors, new emerging sectors, or new economy sectors, as you call it, and that is companies like PB FinTech, companies like Paytm, companies like Eternal, that is Zomato, etc., etc. So the focus is going to be on news flows, policies, and stock specific moves. I think if we are able to get a large part of clarity on 27th August, that is Wednesday, as far as tariff related issues concerned, then I think markets will put to rest this uncertainty. Remember, friends, one thing that the markets don't like is uncertainty. And in that kind of a scenario, you can't expect markets to do much but to trade in a range and try to find a base at a lower level and resistance at higher level. But having said that, there are a lot of opportunities in the market, friends, where we can build up our portfolio from a long term point of view. Before I give any stock specific recommendations, let me give a small disclosure. All recommendations that I'll be giving out today on this program, on the show, is a part of our research team recommendations. Our company Geojit or we do not have personal investments in the recommendations that are given across, nor do we have any financial interest. There is no conflict of interest either, but we give similar recommendations to our clients on similar lines. They might have their investment position from a long term point of view. Having said that, friends, so I think again we will be focusing on sectors which are domestically driven more so. And with that perspective, we have identified two sectors. One is power generation and the other one is capital goods. In power generation, we must have given this recommendation earlier also, but Tata Power remains to be a very strong performer. Even if you have to look at the first quarter earnings, the numbers were in line. And with the kind of capacity that is lined up and new businesses that they have stepped into, whether it is charging of EVs or whether it is solar, I think the company is doing everything well, and that should translate into more positivities in terms of earning visibility is concerned. So first recommendation from a long-term point of view is Tata Power from the power generation stroke transmission pack. And the second one, this is a company from capital goods stroke engineering kind of sector. This company, you don't really hear about it much, but we've been positive on this company for a pretty long period of time. I'm talking about a company called Wabag or VA Wabag, however you want to pronounce it. So VA Wabag is a company which is a small to mid cap company in capital goods engineering, specialized in desalination and effluent treatment, water treatment, and of course modern day technologies. Has got a very decent order book. This company very recently got an order from one of the Middle East countries for a water treatment stroke desalination plant, and scarcity of edible water is something that is going to be in focus in the future. Of course, we've seen erratic patterns as far as the environment is concerned, and that is resulting in too much of heavy rainfall in some geographies or too scanty rainfall in some geographies, and of course, a scarcity of drinking water. So, this company, Wabag or Viatech Wabag, specializes in this particular sector. Not a very liquid counter, but from a long-term point of view, we believe that this is a company which has got a very strong order book, execution capability and capacity is at par, and of course, the future outlook for the growth visibility and orders coming in looks very, very strong. Remember, friends, these are long-term investment ideas. You need to have a longish time horizon. These are not buy today, sell tomorrow, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months kind of time horizon. These are long term by definition, means 12 months, 18 months, 24 months plus. And the best strategy to invest after you have done a little bit of homework at your end would be to buy at current levels, start accumulating it, and whenever you get dips, you can go on adding to the stock. But purely, these are long term fundamental ideas. Please bear that in mind. So we expect the markets to consolidate and trade in a range. In case if we break 24,700, then there could be a little bit of more downside, which may result in 24,500. But as of now, given the triggers and the events and the news flows which are there, 24,700 to 24,800 should act as a support, and 24,900 to 25,000 should act as an overhead resistance, wherein you will see profit booking coming in. Thank you very much for your patience here. I'll see you again next week. Till then, please do take care of yourself. Bye-bye.